Apratim, shall we begin? Okay. So, a very good evening to everyone present here with us. Um, this Android development webinar is organized by Applix.in association with IEM IEEE CAS Society and the Rotaract Club of Barasat Central. So, I would request the student chair of IEM IEEE CAS Society to give a welcome speech and welcome us all. And we thank them for their cooperation throughout this webinar.
Thank you, Ankita. I hope I'm audible to everyone.
Yes, you are.
I'm audible. Yeah, thank you. First of all, a very good afternoon to everyone and coming on to this beautiful event organized by Applex.in and in association with IMIEEE CAS Society. Uh, in this beautiful event, you will get to learn a lot of things that's happening around this world nowadays. Uh, Applex.in currently doing their main work mainly in app development and in API development. And Applex.in has done a very tremendous and good work in their past few months, and we have seen that they have created a beautiful market in this app development. And this webinar will make you all able to get accustomed with what is happening in this current world. And from IMIEEE, why we have collaborated with them, I think that this is the beautiful collaboration that can make all of us be enabled to get accustomed with the digital technology and the upcoming new cutting edge era of this development. And Applex.in has done a good work in this field, and they are now giving it to the all the upcoming generation how they can enable themselves with this technology. So I request Ankita to begin this beautiful event and make this a very successful one. And to those who are attending this live session, I will request them all to take as much as possible from this event. And if they are really excited about learning a new thing, a good thing, they should move forward to the upcoming sessions. Thank you, Ankita. You can start this now.
Thank you so much. That was a lovely introduction. Well, I would like to begin with giving a brief introduction and also then telling you all about what we are going to do in this 2-day webinar. So, I'm Ankita De, an Android developer at Applix.in, and I would like to welcome you all to today's session. And I just hope that we all learn something new and productive from this webinar. It will be a 4 session. It will be divided into 4 sessions, and we'll have the first 2 sessions. First session is from 4 to around 5:15 to 5:30 maybe, and after that we'll have a 15-minute break, and again we'll begin with the second session. Today's second session will be taken by Madhurima Mukherjee, and first session will be taken by me. As stated that this webinar is developing a movie recommendation app from scratch. So we are focusing on from scratch. Even if you have no basic idea about Android, you have no prior knowledge or prerequisites, it's not a problem because we are going to cover everything. And I can assure you that in these 2 days, you are going to learn if you focus on what we are telling, and if you are interacting with us in these 2 days, I am pretty sure you are going to learn more than any normal 1 month course that you take up from otherwhere. Okay, so this thing is something that I can assure you, because we will be diving in detail, in depth. We will be interacting with you guys, and it's going to be very interesting, trust me. One simple request is the first session we are doing on YouTube Live, and it is open to all. This was a special Christmas offer, so it is open for all. From the second session onwards, it will be restricted to those who have registered, and the registration link will be given in the YouTube chat as well from our official handle. So if you want to register, you can register from there. And also, another thing is I would request all of you to be interactive, to speak up whatever you feel like, to speak up if you're not understanding anything. If you want us to repeat something, you are always welcome, and do let us know. So without much delay, I would like to begin with a brief introduction to Applix.in, and then we'll dive into Android development. So as the tagline says, It's an output for unique, homegrown, made in India initiatives, innovations, and customized apps. Applix.in in the last few months have not only catered to the requirements of their clients worldwide, but have also developed their self funded innovative projects. One of them is Snaplingo, which is loved by a lot of people, a lot of our friends, our colleagues, and it is, I would say, a one-stop destination for all your document scanning related issues, right? From document scanning to OCR. Maybe you take a picture and you want to extract text from it. QR code scanning, QR code generation, then everything related to your security of the application. You lock your app with your fingerprint or maybe with your biometric lock. So any of that is possible, and it is. If you have not tried it, I would definitely ask you to try it and test it out. It's available on Google Play Store. It's Snaplingo. Okay. So moving ahead, we have Utsav app. Most of you might be knowing. This was something that was quite innovative and quite something that has gained a lot of popularity. This was started in Durga Puja. It was called Utsav app. It was basically for people like us who were stuck at home and we missed the festivals, the enjoying the thing that we used to do and we used to enjoy so much, going out, all those things, they just stopped. So Utsav app was built keeping that in mind so that we can enjoy at least not completely but a part of our festivities from the app itself. But currently we have moved forward and it is not just related to Durga Puja or Kali Puja or the pujas of India, but it is focusing on the different culture and heritage that India provides. The We are building a content team that is having members from different parts of the country, and you will be able to see such marvelous things that you might have not known that is there in our country. So some of the key features that I would like to highlight is flexible theme. During the day when you open the app, it's light theme. When you open it at night, it's a dark theme. So one thing while telling this, I would like to share is, whenever you're looking at a feature, see in this, like in today's duration, in today's era, we are involved in so many applications. Every day we are using a lot of applications. So whenever you are using an application, if you are into Android development and you think that you are going to take it as a career, in that case you need to observe things, right? You need to observe how this thing might have been developed, what's the logic behind it, right? How can something, if you look at something, maybe a Facebook feature, something, a new feature, then try to explore the logic that is there behind it. Okay, maybe how is it being done? Suppose this thing, the theme is light during the day and dark at night. How this feature could have been developed? What all classes are involved in it? You try to explore, think about it. Okay, so this is one of the most important thing while developing, that you need to have a curiosity, you need to have the thirst of knowledge, and you need to have the idea to explore more how this could have been done, right? So there were various contests, there were different festivities, different competitions, fashion competition, art photography competition, and normal social media field was also there, which there's leave your views in the comments. So these are some more of our projects. It's the Tech Fest of IEM Kolkata. So there are students from IEM as well in our session. So they might be knowing about innovation. So the technical fest of IEM Kolkata is innovation, and the app has been developed by Applix.in. Another one is Campus 24. It's related to virtual campus. Everything from your campus related stuffs, from internships to workshops to different tech fests and everything. Maybe the study materials, papers, the previous years, the utility as well as the fun part of college has been mixed together in this application called Campus 24. All of these applications are available on Google Play Store, and it's very easy to find. So if you have not tried them out, you can try them out and let us know the feedbacks. We'll love to hear from you. Moving ahead to stages of development. So, while developing, what are the different stages that are involved? First thing that I said is ideation and the designing. So what am I going to develop is the first question. and how is it going to look is the second question. So that is the first thing. So can anybody just tell me in the comments that what is the idea of the app that we are going to build and how is the design going to be, maybe any ideas? Okay, so that thing we have heard about, right? We are going to build a movie recommendation app. So that's the idea, and the design I'll show you in a later part. Okay, although that's not the final design, that is just what we are going to do today. Okay, so in the second session, so that thing I'll show you. The next thing of development is prototyping and layouts. So after you have got a brief understanding in your head, okay, that what is going to be the idea and how is it going to look, you need to put it down. You need to let it, convey to other people as well, right? So that is called layout designing and prototyping. So how is the UI going to look, the user interface and the user experience, and that is generally done in softwares like Figma, in Adobe XD. So over here you can design your layouts, but of course we are not going to dive into those. That's a part of UI designing. We will be designing the simple layout in XML of Android Studio, and we'll be doing the coding in Java. Next part, the third point written here is front end programming. So, what is front end programming? Front end programming is what happens when you move in the app, when you scroll, when you click on a button, what's going to happen. That is written in Java and is done in the Java classes we are going to see. Next, we have backend tasks. Any ideas about? Yeah, right. So Seetam Sardar is saying that the idea of this webinar is like we are going to make a list or maybe use a card view in the designing aspect, right? So Seetam, you're absolutely correct. That is what we are going to do. So the idea is clear. That's great. And moving on, we have the backend tasks. So any ideas what is a backend task? If we can get some responses in the comments. What do you mean by a backend task? Like I told you, for front end programming, you have a layout, and the Java class is going to decide what happens when you interact with the layout. But what's going to happen in the backend tasks? Right. So Mayuk Ghosh has replied application programming interface. Right. Mayuk, that is the part of backend tasks. So backend task is generally things that are not in your app. For example, suppose you have commented on a post of your friend on Facebook. Okay, suppose you have commented on a post of your friend on Facebook. Now that friend gets a notification. Do you think that is done by your device or maybe his device? No, right? That is not possible. That is not possible. So that is done something by the backend. That is done something in the server. Something where your data is stored, where from where bits and parts of your data are fetched in your device. Suppose you want to scroll some part of your app. Of course, all of the data is not going to come to your device, right? Only that part that you are trying to look is what is fetched from the server. Right. So cloud, APIs, then notifications, authentication, all these parts. Like when you sign in, right? We use Facebook. In Facebook, we use email authentication. So all those are parts of backend tasks. Authentication, APIs, then we have a storage, then we have notifications, the cloud aspect of it. Everything is a part of the backend task. Then we have the last aspect. Suppose you have got the design, you have built the front end, you have connected it with the back end, and now when your app is ready to be tested, that comes the process of debugging and testing. However perfect coder you are or you are going to be, there will always be errors in your code when you write it for the first time. So the more you start interacting, the more you start testing, that over there you get to realize the bugs. Okay, I'll show you how you can fix the bugs in your Android Studio, where is it done or how you can figure them out. We'll have a look at that. But before that, I would like to get some replies about if you are clear with the stages of development, or if you want me to repeat any aspect of it, please let me know so that I can get some replies and decide whether I should repeat or whether should I move on. I'll just wait for a minute over here. Clear. Thanks, Sudeep. Thanks for your response. I would like to see a few more responses before moving on. Tosha says it's clear. Great, great to see that the concepts are getting clear. Okay, perfect, perfect. Great. So now let's move on to what we are going to learn in today's session. Not today's, in the 2 day session. Okay. So the first is basics of Android and getting started with it. Like I'll familiarize you with the environment. I'll tell you where we are doing what. I'll tell you how to use the logcat where you can detect your bugs and errors. I will show you how you can build your app on your device. So this is something that I'm going to cover in this session. In the next session, that is the second part of day one, you will be learning about Android views and layouts, right? Then we are going to build a recycler view. So like somebody was already mentioning about recycler view, we are going to learn about what is recycler view, why is it used, how are we going to use it in today's session. Okay, so the first 3 points will be covered in day one. Okay, and tomorrow we will be covering the backend aspect, the API, the JSON objects, shared preferences, searching, and intents. Okay, so these are the aspects that we are going to cover. Now let's move into Android Studio and create a new project. It was already mentioned in the posts as well as in the groups where you are present that you need to have Android Studio installed in your computer. Okay, those who couldn't or you are having any issues, after the first session we will be having a break, right? So over there you can connect with us. You can message or in the group, or also you can leave comments in the chat. Okay. We'll jump and create a new Android Studio project. So, is my screen visible now? Let me just see. Okay. I hope my screen is visible. Yeah. Okay. So this is a previous project that I was working on. So to build a new project, if you are opening Android Studio for the first time, in the front only you will get an option to create a new project. Otherwise, you can go to File, New Project. So we are going to File, New, and New Project. It will be great if somebody can tell me whether it's clearly visible or not. So we are going to File, New. Now there's a dialog box, and over here there are a lot of activities present, as you can see. Okay, so a basic activity is one, which is having a floating action button in the right bottom corner. So this is something that you have seen in a lot of places, like in LinkedIn it's there, in WhatsApp it is there. So this is a floating action button, the technical term for it. We have a bottom navigation activity. Okay, so bottom navigations are used in a lot of social media. In Instagram it is there, in LinkedIn it is there. So bottom navigation activity is something which looks like this. We are going to go with an empty activity, and I'll show you how to go about it. Then we have a Google Maps activity, as you can see. You have seen in your Google Maps app. Then we have a login activity. So all these default activities are available. But anyway, we'll go with an empty activity and click next. Okay, so we'll just name our application. Okay, since we are building a movie recommendation app, so I'll just write movie recommendation app. Okay. Okay. So this form of writing where you mention the first letter of each word in capital, it is called camel casing in programming. So for those who are new, just a bit of information for you guys. Language will be using Java. There is another option of Kotlin, but we are going with Java. This is the package name, as you can see. The package name is something that is unique with your project. Okay, every app that is available on Google Play Store or anywhere in this world, it is having a unique package name. So this is something that is unique for your project. Okay. Okay, next is you see minimum SDK. Okay, SDK stands for Software Development Kit, and the minimum SDK, it means that from which Android version will your app be compatible. It means that since every day new features are coming up, new Android versions are coming up, so every feature is not compatible with every app or every device. Okay, suppose these days the cameras are high quality, high end cameras, the mobile devices that they are offering. So Mayuk has a question. Mayuk, I'll come back to you in a while. I'll just tell you guys about this minimum SDK thing. So this is what I was saying, that with the advancement in technology, every day new features are coming up. So what happens is those new features are no more compatible with the older versions of Android. And that's why we need to make sure that whatever features we are using, it's compatible with most of the devices. So as you can see, when we are using Android 5, that is Lollipop, suppose my minimum Android version is Android 5. So any Android version that is above Android 5, our features will be compatible with that. So it says your app will run on approximately 0.1% of devices. If I change it to Android N, okay, that is Android 7, see the percentage of devices reduce, because there are a lot of devices today as well which are still working on Android 5 and Android 6. Okay, so that's clear. Moving on, we'll click on finish. So this is what I did here. I just wrote the app name. Package name was automatically there. I didn't have to write. Language, I chose Java, and I just told you what is this minimum SDK. You can choose Android 5 and click on finish. So it will take some time to set up your project. Okay. Meanwhile, I'll reply to what Mayuk Ghosh was asking. He is asking that will different activities start with the same layout? Mayuk, see, we are setting up a project. Okay. I am starting with an empty activity. Now I'll add on different activities to this project. Okay. This doesn't mean, I'll show you. Okay. This doesn't mean that every activity will start with the same layout. I'll show you. Like when I'll be adding another activity to this project, there will again be options to add what type of activity you want to add. Okay, this thing might seem a bit complex and not relatable to everyone. I'll show you, then you'll understand it better. Okay, Mayuk? So the project is getting set up. As you can see here, it's loading. So it takes some time to set up your project. Okay. So after the project is set up, I will show you the different aspects of the environment, what we are doing to do in which section, so that things become easier for you to understand in the later part. Okay. So as you saw, we created an empty activity, right? So what is an activity? Anybody want to answer this? What is an activity? Okay, so Mayuk says that it's a template. Not necessarily, okay, Mayuk. Activity, it comprises of three things. First is the template or the layout, okay, that you are mentioning about. The second thing is the Java class, okay? And the third thing is its declaration in the Android manifest. So I'll tell you, I'll show you, and then it will be clear. See, okay, as you can see, there's a package name. I've got main activity as my one activity. So you see, this is one activity. And this activity is an empty activity. Why? Because I chose it to be empty. Now, if I want to add another activity, I'll show you how to add that. So this is, if this thing is not there, if it's something like this for your case, open this arrow. Is my cursor visible, guys? Yeah. So in the left panel, you have something written as app. If this thing is not in Android and in project, change it to Android over here. Okay. In the top right corner, there's an option. There's a drop down. Click on this drop down, choose Android. Now, in this section where you have written, there's something written as app, there's a triangular arrow, sorry. So in the triangular arrow, you can click. You can go to, this Java. Then you have the package name. Choose the first package name, open that. Over here, you will find your main activity, right? So in case your main activity is not visible by default in your main window, then you can just open it up from this left panel that I just showed you, right? So you see this activity main.xml is your layout or the template that Mayuk was mentioning, but that alone cannot consist an activity. So this is the second aspect of an activity, that is the Java class, okay, where we will be writing our codes. Over here, we will be designing the layout, how it should look. Here, we are going to do what is going to happen when we click on something, or we scroll down or we scroll up or we do something. So what is going to happen? What is going to be the response? That will be written in main activity.java. Activity main.xml, okay, in this section, on the top right corner, you have three options. One is the code. This code is where you get to see the code of your layout. So this is an XML language. XML stands for extensive markup language, right? Extensive markup language. It's similar. It looks similar to HTML, right? Most of you might be familiar with HTML, where you have opening tags, closing tags, and body, paragraph, all those things you have done. So XML also works like that. We'll dive in detail. Now over here in the second option, you have split. So when you click on split, you get to see the code as well as the layout over here together. So I prefer to use this frame while working. Okay. So these are the three aspects. I'll show you the third aspect. This is the first, XML, the second, Java, and the third aspect you will find in the manifest section. So again, in the left panel, you have manifests. Click on that drop-down arrow. You have Android manifest.xml. Click on it. Okay. This is again a XML file. And what you get to see over here is the declaration of the activities. So you see there's something written as activity over here. So this is my activity, right? So I just give few spaces so that it becomes clear. So this segment is the declaration of the activity. If this segment is not there, okay, suppose I delete it. Now if I build my app in my phone, nothing is going to happen, right? So this is something that is necessary for an activity to work. This is where, where you tell the app that this is the declaration that my activity is present in this application. Apart from the activity opening and closing tags, we also have the intent filter inside it. You see? The intent filter says it's the launcher. Launcher means the first activity. You see, when you click on WhatsApp, you get to see a splash screen where, the logo of WhatsApp splashes for 2 seconds and then you move on to your contact list, right? So the launcher activity of WhatsApp is that screen, that logo wala screen, right? So that is the launcher activity, the first activity of your app. That is called the launcher activity. So in our case, we have to decide which one is our launcher activity, and then we'll place this intent filter inside that activity tag. Okay, so I'll just repeat once more. The activity that you want to open for the first time, the moment you click on the app icon, your app opens. The first activity is called the launcher activity. It is present inside your activity tag of your Android manifest.xml. Okay. Apart from that, apart from activity and intent filters, we also have the icon. You see Android icon. So when you if you want to see what is there, you need to click on control and place your cursor over the cursor on that IC launcher. Click on it and you can get to see a list of IC launcher. So we just click on the PNG file to see what is there. So you see this is a default Android icon, and this default Android icon is the icon if we build this app in our phone. If I build my app currently on my phone, this is the icon of the app that I am going to see. Then we have label. So label is the name of the app. Then we have round icon. Then we have a theme, right? We know about a few themes, a dark theme, a light theme. So these themes are, declared here. So this here is my package name. Okay. One more important thing that we do in manifest is declare permissions. We have seen about, well, somebody is asking which software is this? Well, it's Android Studio. It was mentioned while in the different posts and the different groups and the posters that we shared that this webinar is an Android development webinar, and the prerequisite is having Android Studio installed in your systems. So if you're not aware, Aaron, this is Android Studio, and we are exploring this environment so that we can start working from the next session, right? So over here, you have seen that in different applications you have different permissions, right? Suppose when you click on say WhatsApp, it asks for your location permission. Sometimes it will ask for your storage permission. So all those permissions, camera permission, are declared here. So I'll just show you how to declare a permission. Maybe we'll declare the camera permission or internet, anything. So this is the triangular opening bracket, and you write users permission. So one good thing about Android Studio is that it gives you suggestions. So it's easier for us to work, and you need to not memorize codes. You just need to memorize. You just need to get used to the environment, and then you need not memorize anything. So users permission, you click on it. See, I don't have to write Android name. Okay, it will give me by itself. So I'll just show you one more time. Opening triangular bracket, users permission. The moment I press enter, I get these options. So you see access Wi-Fi state, internet, right? Different ports location, find location, all these things are available. So these are the different permissions that your app might be using. So we'll just write internet. So I just got internet, and I'll close this tag. So this is a closing tag. If you don't know, it's a slash and a closed triangular bracket. Another way of giving a closing tag is, maybe I'll use Wi-Fi state. Okay, so access Wi-Fi state. And another way of giving a closing tag that I was saying is give a triangular closing bracket. So it will give you the closing tag. But this thing is used when you need to put some, child tags inside the parent tag. But over here, we don't need to put anything inside it. Like you see in this activity opening tag and activity closing tag, there is something else written here. But in case you did not write anything else, then you can just use the slash and triangular bracket close for closing this tag. So this is, we have given these permissions to our applications. So this is all about manifest. You need not know anything else for manifest. We'll just close this manifest, close this IC launcher. Yeah. Okay. So if you guys have any doubts, okay, so somebody's asking me to zoom. Abradim, can you zoom a little? Or maybe I can increase my font size. So I'll just change. Is this size fine, guys? Just let me know in the comments if this size works fine. Otherwise, I'll increase it more. Yes, Ashar, this is okay? Great. Should I increase a bit more or is this okay? Okay, I'll just increase it one more maybe. Settings. Okay, from settings you can change your, Android Studio theme. I'm using the light theme. I don't want to choose the dark one, otherwise it won't be visible to you guys. I'll choose size 18. Okay. So yeah, this is great. Yeah, I think this is fine. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So moving on, we have. Do you want me to repeat Android manifest and the different aspects of an activity? The three parts of an activity. Do you want me to explain again or should I move on? Guys, give me a thumbs up in the comments so that I can move ahead. Otherwise, I'll hold on. Okay, so Sudeep Coach is asking me to repeat the manifest. I'll just repeat it once. So in manifest, basically, we declared all the activities. So this is my main activity, the only activity that I'm having right now. Okay. So in this application tag, we have the name of the application, the icon of the application, whether this icon will be round or not, the theme of the application. All these things are declared in the manifest. Apart from that, in the manifest, you also have your permissions that your app requires, the internet permission, the location permission, then you have contacts, storage permission, camera permission. So all these permissions are also, you need to declare in the Android manifest.xml. This is it, nothing else. Okay, if you guys want, further clarification or something, maybe we'll have it in the later aspects, right? So this is it. It's just declaration of the activities, whether which activity will be using which service, maybe a messaging service or maybe a launcher, whether it's going to be the first activity or not. Then maybe the app icon, the app name, all these things are declared in the manifest. And also, another important thing that is done in the manifest is the permissions of the application. That's it. Okay. Now moving on, we have the Gradle scripts. Do you see? Okay. Back to resources and then Gradle scripts. So in the resources section, you have four packages over here. One is drawable, layout, map, and values. In the drawable section, we have the different, logos and the pictures that will be used. Also the icons, the app icons that are there, that is there, that all those things are written inside the drawable part. So in the drawable, currently we just have a background and a foreground, which both of them are Android logos. But later on, we will add different icons to it, different logos that we will be using throughout the application. So drawable is basically where you store your logos, your icons, maybe some shape that you want to use, some UI elements. All these things are there in the drawable section. The next section is my layout. Currently, we just have one layout, and that is activity main.xml because we have created one activity. The moment we create another activity, another layout is going to be added here. So this is the layout that we are using. Then we have map. In the map is where you use your app icons. I mean the icon of your app. Suppose in WhatsApp there's a WhatsApp logo. For Facebook there's a Facebook logo. So similarly, the app icon is stored in the map. Okay. Why is it stored in different dimensions? HDPI, MDPI, XXHDPI. That's because it has to be compatible with different screen resolutions. So different screen resolutions will be using different logos. That's why this app logo is stored in the map folder and not in the drawable folder. Then we have values. In the values, we have the colors. Okay. I'll tell you what these are. We have the different colors that we will be using. Okay. So this is the colors.xml. whatever theme colors you want to use, this is declared here. Okay. Suppose in my activity main.xml, suppose I want to give a background. So this is my parent layout, this top one. Okay, this is my parent layout. I'll just, before this closing tag, I'll just use background. It will give me a suggestion background. I just type background and black. So you see this thing changed to black. Okay. So why are we using @color black? I can also use hash 0000000. It is still black, right? So these are hexadecimal codes. By hexadecimal codes we mean that the color of your the color is written in the form of R, G, and B. We know this, right? Red, green, and blue. So these are the primary colors, and R, G, B, these things are represented in hex codes. So as you know, there are different systems. We have decimal system, we have binary system, we have hexadecimal system. So similarly, the first two digits represent the amount of red that you want to put in. The second two digits decide how much green you want to put in, and the third two digits, the last two digits, they decide the blue. So suppose we want to change it to red, so we'll use the maximum value of hexadecimal, that is 15. So we used FF, and next 4 we give 00. So you see it's red. Okay. But anyway, you need not worry so much about it. You can just click on this. Okay. And you can choose your color from here as well. Right. So you can just click on this small arrow that you have over here, the small cube, the box, which is depicting the color. You can just choose a color and press enter. Okay. So that will give you the hex code for it. Yeah, but the important thing that I would like to ask and I would like to highlight is why do we use the colors and not just write the color in hex codes? Why do we use the colors.xml? Any ideas? Okay, so Sitam is asking me to repeat. Sitam, I was explaining how colors are represented in hex codes. Okay. I'll just try to enlarge this text size of my code as well. So it's settings, editor, font, I'll change it to say 16. Okay, yeah. And I can reduce this normal font a bit. Maybe to 16 as well, maybe 14. Yeah, this looks fine, I guess. Okay, so you see, I was explaining that the colors are represented in hex codes. So you see, it is a 6-digit code. After the hash symbol, you have 6 codes. The first 2 codes represent the amount of red, R. The second 2 codes represent the amount of G, that is green. And the last 2 represent the amount of blue, R, G, and B. These are the 3 primary colors. So these 6 digits represent this color. So you can give any color of your choice. So yeah, that's it. Yeah, right, Asher. So Asher has replied why we use colors.xml. He says that to make it simpler, creating a different section for changes maybe. Right, absolutely right. So if you want to change, suppose you want to use, suppose today you want a blue themed app. So you give the primary colors and everything over here in shades of blue. So you want to use these shades in different aspects of your code. Now, suppose one day you feel, no, let me try out for red. So in that case, you need not go to every layout and every section of your app and change it to red. You can just change it from this colors.xml file. That's it. Okay, great. So this is all about XML, colors.xml. Then we have strings.xml. Similarly, the different strings that we use, maybe login, maybe click here to move on or something like that. All these things, all the strings are represented and kept here. Okay, that is kept here for a similar reason. Okay, like in colors, if you want to change the color, in that case, we can just change it from colors.xml. Similarly, if you want to have a different language of your application, suppose a Bengali version, suppose a Hindi version, or or something else, a different language, in that case, you just need to change this file into a different file of your language. Currently, we have two themes. So this is one theme that is a light theme, and this is another theme that is the dark theme, right? See, it's black, purple, all dark colors are there. Anyway, so this is all about values, okay, and resources. So I just closed this. Okay, in the resources section, you can also have your font styles, you can have your animation folders. So all these things will be kept in the resources section. Moving ahead, we have Gradle scripts. So Gradle script is basically a build system, okay? And it allows you to automate your build, test, and debugging applications. So all these things are done in the build scripts. So this is the first build.gradle file. Okay, one thing that I would like to say is you need not worry about everything that is written here. You just need to keep in mind whatever we need to build the app. So the first is the project, that is for the project build.gradle file. The second is the module. So you see this app is a module. Similarly, you can have another module if you are working with a different module or a different external library, right? So for that case, you will have another build.gradle module. This folder, you will have another folder. So this thing, when you click on it, you get to see a lot of things like minimum SDK version code, okay, version name. You have seen, right? Like Facebook version 1.1.1, right? So this is where you tell your version name. So currently we are starting with it, so it's just 1.0. Maybe in the next update you can change it to 1.1, like that. Version code, it increases by one integer, right? The most important part of this build.gradle module is this dependencies aspect. What happens in the dependencies part? You see there are a lot of implementations over here. This is basically using the different libraries and the different APIs. Okay, so suppose you want to use a card view implementation. Okay, so what you do, you just go to Google and you search for card view implementation. Suppose card view implementation in Android. The moment you search for it, you will find it, and I'll show you how you can just yeah. So this is the official website, developer.android.com. As you can see, I'll just increase the size. Yeah. So this one is the official Android developers documentation. So over here, from here, you can just get the dependency. So you see, here is the dependency. I'll just copy, go to my dependencies section and paste. The moment I paste, okay, there's something written here. Gradle files have changed since the last project sync. So you need to sync now again. So the moment I sync now, it keeps building. And now you can use card view as an implementation. It means that in your, like somebody was saying, I want to use a card view or something like that. So card view is not available by default, okay? Now if you go to, I'll just close these. Now if you go to your Android activity main and you open the third bracket and write card, see you get this card view, widget. But earlier this wouldn't have been possible. Like if somebody is there who has not yet implemented the card view dependency, in that case, if you try to use card view, you won't get the suggestion, okay? And it will be highlighted in red. If you guys want me to show, I can show you. I'll just comment this out. Think. Yeah. And I can, if I now write card, okay. Yeah. Let me just try it again. But yeah, see, it turned to red because it is not getting that implementation as I have commented it out. So I hope you guys have understood how to use a dependency. The moment I open this up, click on sync. it will, you will see that this is no more red. Now we can click on card view. It is not red anymore. You see, it's blue. Okay, it's again red. Maybe the sync is not finished. Right? So I hope you guys have understood that what is the use of the implementation part, right? Okay. So moving on to these parts. Okay. So I've explained. Yeah. So you click on project, you will get this panel. Okay. In the bottom part, three things are important. Okay. One is this build, where you can see, what's the status of your build. So build successful in 2 seconds, something like this. Next, we have logcat. Okay. This is where you can detect your errors, your mistakes, or, the crashes that your app might have been facing. So all these things will be taken account in this logcat. I will show you how to connect your app with your laptop and get the app built in your phone just now. The third section is the profiler section. The profiler section is where you can get an analysis of how much battery or how much um, memory, okay, memory your app is consuming. So in that case, you can see which activity is responsible for a lot of memory loss. So you can optimize on those things. So profiler is something used for that purpose. So let's connect our phone with Android Studio, and this is the build symbol in the top, which will help us to build our app, make project, as you can see. And this thing is used to run your app, okay, on your phone. Now, since I have not connected my phone with my laptop, so it's showing no devices. Okay, there's also an option of AVD manager, that is Android virtual device. So for AVD manager, what happens is it gives you a dummy phone on your laptop screen. But what happens is I suggest not to use the Android virtual device, and none of our members will be teaching you with the Android virtual device. That is because it consumes a lot of RAM, and your system hangs at sometimes, right? So we don't want that, right? So one thing, Android Studio requires at least 8 GB of RAM. So make sure your laptop is or your desktop is supporting 8 GB of RAM. Otherwise, your Android Studio won't work and it will hang most of the time. And second thing is, try not to use the Android virtual device. Instead, use your original Android phone. So how to use your original Android phone with the device so that you can use the application with your hand, I will be showing you. So these are the few steps that you need to follow. Yeah. So these are the 3 steps that you need to follow in order to connect your Android phone with Android Studio, right? First is go to settings of your phone. I want each and every one of you to do it. Go to settings of your phone. In the settings, you have something called about phone. Go there. Click on build number. Tap 7 times on build number. Right. So the moment you click on 7 times on your build number, there will be a message popping up showing you that yes, now you are a developer. So once that is done, let me know in the comments so that we can move ahead with step 2. Okay, Tosha, great, it is done. Sitam, great, you have also done. Aritra has done. Orkodipto has done. Great. Moving on to step 2. We have now go to additional settings, right? Now plug in your USB with your laptop and your phone, right? Nowadays, maximum chargers, they use this USB as well. So you can try with that also. Okay, so the moment you connect your phone with the USB cord with your laptop, there will be an option to use that USB as what? Okay, as you want to charge, you want to transfer files, or you want to transfer photos or something like that. Click on transfer files. Okay, yeah, so I have clicked on transfer files, so it is showing my device as you can see. Okay, now go to additional settings. In the developer options, turn on USB debugging. There will be two options. One is USB debugging on, and another one will be verify apps over USB. So these two things, make sure it is checked and it is turned on. Let me know once done. And if you guys face any difficulty, let me know that as well. Great, Orkodipto. Those who are not doing it right away now, you can take a screenshot of these steps so that whenever you do, you can try it out. Great, great. Make sure to do both of those things like USB debugging on and verify apps over USB. These two things must be done. Okay, great. So I'll just escape from here. If you want me to let me know in the comments. Okay. Okay, now what I will show you guys is maybe I'll just create a text view like it's already there, hello world. Okay, I can just zoom in and show you guys. Okay, so you see this thing is not something you should worry about. Suman Sahar says that the build number is not available. Suman, you can try it out. You can search in your settings. It should be in your settings about phone section. Yeah. So our team is there to support you guys. If you face any problem, let us know. There will be another doubt clearing as well. So we'll help you out there. Somebody from our team has replied. You can check that out as well. That inside settings, sometimes there's another option named software information. Sometimes inside that also you will find the build number. Okay. Meanwhile, I'll just change this hello world to something written as maybe let it be. Okay, let it be. I don't know. So we'll change this text color since it's not visible on blue. So I'll just write text color and I'll change it to white, right? Okay, what I want to show you is how are we linking the text view and I mean the XML and the Java file. That's what I'm trying to show you, and also maybe I want to show you the logcat. So that's what I'm trying to do now. I'll just change this background to a black. Yeah, I'll change the. So you see, you need not write everything. Okay, you just need to. Maybe you're not understanding everything written here. Also, it's fine. We will be dealing with layouts in the next section. Currently, I just want to give you a brief idea about how things work. Okay, so in case it's not something that you are understanding, it's fine. It's perfectly fine. Don't worry. Okay. Yeah. So for this text view, I'll just before the closing tag, I will add another attribute. So I'll add the text size. Sorry for that, guys. So text size, I'll change it to 20 dp. Yeah. In the next session, you will also learn about what are these things, DP, SP, and stuff. Okay. SP is basically something related to your screen text size, right? In the settings of your phone, you have something, if you have noticed, something called the font size, right? Small, medium, large. So SP depends on that. You know, the text size will depend on your system's text size, but DP doesn't depend on that. Okay, it depends on whatever you are writing here. It's fine, we'll dive into details later on, but currently I'll just give. Okay, so you see, I have just written hello world over here. Okay, and I've added a text size and a text color. Next, I would like to link, like what I want to do is I want to change this text from my Java. Okay, I want to change it to something else when I click on it. Suppose I want to click on hello world and change it to hello guys, maybe. Okay, so what we want to do is I want to do some action with it, so I have to give an id is the identity of that element, that view. So the suggestion that it is giving at the rate plus id slash, press enter, give it a name. This name can be anything. I'm just giving it text view. Okay, so now we are going to the Java class. In the Java class we are going to create a object of class text view. So I'll write text view tv maybe, right? So tv dot, okay, now we are going to tell the Java class like this object is referenced, is linked with which view, right? So tv is equals to find view by id. Okay, I am trying to find which view by id that we are going to mention here. So my this Java tv find view by id, capital R dot id dot text view. Okay, the moment you write text, it gives me a suggestion. I press enter and then semicolon. So this line is the one which is doing the magic of linking the XML view with the Java object. So tv is my object of class text view. What is the object? What is a class? We will dive into detail if you are a complete beginner. No worries. So this is basically, if you are not aware about Java classes and objects, no issue, we'll dive into that as well. This is basically, try to understand that this is a text view ka class. We have created an object. This object is linked with which view? This view in the XML. So this name and this name has to be same, exactly same. Now, tv dot, maybe to click, what do we use? We use, we'll dive into it later, maybe it will be difficult for you guys to understand. So I'll just write tv dot, there are a lot of options. So set text, I'll just give something like hello guys. Okay, I have changed this text. Okay, now let me just build this app. So Gradle build is running. You can also build your app and see what happens. What is this dot and why are we using all these things? You will learn about it in the later sessions. Okay, don't worry if you're not understanding. But currently what I am trying to show you is that I am building a very ugly looking app in my device, but I'm building one, right? That is more important. And second thing is I want to show you some use of logcat, some use of ashes. I want to show you that. So currently nothing is wrong, everything is fine, so it should not crash. I'm just waiting for the build to complete and then I'll tell you what I see in my phone. And if you guys are working with me as well, then you can try it out in your device as well. So in this session, we have learned the environment of Android Studio. We have learned about what are the different stages of app development. We have learned how to connect your phone with your Android Studio. And also we have learned how to build an app. Apart from that, we have learned about different files that are available in Android Studio. What is build Gradle, what is manifest, what is the layout. Okay, Okay, so my build is successful, and what I see is I just see a toolbar on top, a purple toolbar which has movie recommendation app written. I see a black screen and I see hello guys. I don't see hello world. Okay. Now what I try to do is I will remove this referencing. Okay. I'll just delete this thing. Now what happens is I have not linked it with my XML. So what should happen if I build the app? Any ideas? Let me know in the comments. I have removed that referencing and I have built my app. Okay, so what happens is the moment my app opens, it crashes. So now we are going to open the logcat and see what is there. You see, I'll just delete this. I clear my logcat. So in the left, there's a recycle bin kind of an icon. You can just click on that. Now I open my app, it crashes and it stops. So you see this blue thing, main activity.java line 17. Yeah, it says that due to this thing, it crashes and the error is a null pointer exception. It says attempt to invoke virtual method text view dot set text on a null object reference. So you see, this text view is currently null because it is not linked with any of the views of XML, right? That's why it crashes. So you need to make sure that it has been linked. So I'll just get that back. So if I do this, it's not going to crash anymore. So guys, I hope you have got an understanding about how to use Logcat, how to, detect your bugs, your crashes, also about linking, referencing different aspects of an activity, and how to use Gradle scripts. So all these things we have covered in this first session. I guess you guys have enjoyed a lot. I did a lot. I did enjoy a lot with you guys. It was lovely interacting with you, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Also, special thanks to all our collaborators for making this webinar possible. And I'll eagerly wait for you guys to join me in the second session as well. We are having Madhurima waiting on the other side, and those who have not registered yet and you thoroughly enjoyed in the first session, you understood that this is something that is going to help you build a career, or gain knowledge about Android. Maybe we can help you out somehow. So do register. The link is given in the chat section. Do register as soon as possible, and we would like to see you in the next session. Till then, thanks and stay tuned. Follow our social handles as well as our YouTube channel. We come up with webinars, workshops, internships, different project ideas, and a lot more. And you can also follow different social media handles, Facebook and Instagram of Utsav app, as well as download the app. Utsav app brings you the fun part of festivals and Indian culture. We are also planning to host a photo walk over there on 31st on New Year's Eve. So if you guys want to join us and meet live, we are doing it in Kolkata on 31st of October. So you can join us as well. I'll be looking forward to see you guys with me, and do follow our handles for staying updated with us. And those who have not registered, I request you all to register as soon as possible. If you guys have any queries or any doubts that you want me to reply, feel free to type them in the chat section. I will definitely reply. And till then, bye bye. We just have a 15-minute break right now. If you want to register, register as soon as possible. We will be meeting soon again at 5:30 or 5:40. Our team will tell you in the chat. Thank you guys. Thanks for your patience. It was lovely interacting with you. And I hope to meet you soon again someday. Thanks.